Hey guys, it's me Simran. I really want to make a video dedicated to the class of 2024 because a lot of you, like, it really sucks to be the class of 2024 if I'm being straight up honest. You guys got your prom canceled, you got your graduation canceled, and you can't go on college tours, so you have no idea what the college you committed to for the next 4 years even looks like. And so I want to help out with that. Around this time of the year, I tend to get a couple DMs from people asking specific questions about UCSC, as well as comments on my videos, and I also asked you guys on Instagram story for any specific questions you had. And so I compiled all of them, and I kind of created some broad categories, and I just wanted to go into it to give you an idea of what UCSC is like and kind of be your virtual tour guide. If I lived on campus, this would be the prime time to film a campus tour, but I did have to evacuate my apartment. I didn't have to, I chose to, but I do have a bunch of videos on my channel that show kind of a little glimpse of what campus is like, because I did be living there. I did live there. It was a thing I did. In general, I have a couple different college playlists, so if this video is not enough, I have a whole playlist on advice, a whole playlist of vlogs, and maybe some other playlists. I will link them in the eye, wherever that is, and also down below. Honestly, I think making friends in college is a lot easier than it sounds. Like, I remember being super scared about it, but honestly, once you get to college, I think the main thing is making the best out of welcome week and making the best of your fall quarter. I don't want to put too much pressure on it because obviously everything happens for a reason and everything's gonna happen the way it happens because it happens that way. I know your RAs will throw some events. Honestly, the first day of school, we actually went to an RA event, and I met like 6 people from that who I talked to for the rest of the year, and I still talk to till today. So I would not knock on those RA events. They can actually be kind of fun, especially at the beginning, because it's like the first way you get to meet people. Now that I'm a sophomore, I feel like everyone's kind of chilled down. No one's really like crazily, like there's still people who are crazily social, but it's not like you're going out of your way to meet new people every day. And so now I feel like when I make friends, it's normally through section in classes or just like classes in general. There's like 3 main common interests that are pretty easy to make friends around. 1, common classes, because you're gonna have to hang out to study and then you just become friends naturally, you know. 2, organizations, getting involved in cool orgs. And then 3, living near each other, just because like you're living in the dorms, and if they're just like 1 room down and they're pretty chill, like it's pretty easy to just automatically be friends like that, you know? Roommates is always a fun topic. I feel like everyone has roommate drama at some point. Something's gonna happen. Maybe you'll come in hating your roommate and you'll leave best friends. Maybe you'll come in best friends, you'll leave hating each other. Maybe it'll just be neutral, but you guys don't really talk. It just like, there's just always things, especially living with people, like going from not living with anyone or like living with family to living with people who you just met or even people you met on Facebook can be a crazy adjustment. So, you know, it's just something you get used to. And I got asked if there's like a personality quiz you take to get your roommates. No. So there's 2 ways you can kind of pick roommates. You can either write in the person's name and both of you write in each other's names and then you get paired together, or put in a triple together if you put 2 people's names. Or 2, you kind of just fill out a quiz of like what your lifestyle is like, and then they match you with people of similar lifestyles. And I do think they actually do that because I know I put I want to wake up early morning on my lifestyle quiz, and they paired me with a roommate who woke up early morning. The only thing is I didn't actually wake up early morning, and so that was fun. So sorry, Britzy, for all that. In my opinion though, the best way to find a roommate that you'll get along with better is to find someone on the Facebook group. I know there's like the UCSC Facebook group, and there's like every school has like a Facebook group, every college has like a little Facebook group. Everyone always posts like their name and like a little bit about them, what college they're affiliated with, what interests them, and then you can connect with people and then maybe after talking to someone for like a week, if they seem chill, they don't seem too crazy, you got yourself a future roommate. I'd also say probably don't room with someone who you know before getting to college, whether it's a family friend or a high school friend or anything. It's like, it puts you in a comfort zone, and I think one of the most important parts of freshman year is having like no comfort zone. You're not like being baby. This is you learning and like growing, and best growth comes when you're put in situations a little different. So that's what I have to say about roommates. The campus. So Santa Cruz's campus is super interesting. The campus itself, like you think of Santa Cruz, you think of like this big beach town, but the campus itself is in the literal forest, and it's so pretty. I was not a nature person before coming here, but now I've like slowly become a nature person because of Santa Cruz. The campus is covered with trees, covered with cool hiking points. It also has the 10 college system, which is basically like 5 different points of campus have 2 colleges. And so there's Cowell and Stevenson, which is where like there's Opers, which is our gym. There's a cafe there, and there's a really nice view of the ocean, and that dining hall pretty good. That's kind of my review of Cal Stevenson. I don't know what the dorms are really like. I know the Stevenson apartments are nice. I've been to them once, but I never went to the Cal or Stevenson dorms. It's also close to like Iveta, Aida, I don't know, the bookstore and the student center where like they do all like the government stuff. Then there's Merrill and Crown. Merrill and Crown are on a little bit of a hill, but Merrill is so pretty. Like, it is so pretty. You go there and it feels like it's a whole different college. Like, it feels like you're at UCLA or something. It's a whole different vibe. Really pretty, but it is on a hill. They also have Vivas, which is a really good Mexican place, and Banana Joe's. I don't know if that's Crown or Merrill, but I'm just going to group them in their 2 groups for the purpose of this video because I'm just going off my head and what I remember. Next is College 9 and 10. College 9 and 10 are the newest built colleges. They have the dining hall that's open for the longest period of time, I'm pretty sure, because it's open on weekends as well. I lived in College 10 apartments my second year, and one thing I really liked about it is I felt like it was like close to everything. I never really felt like I was walking super far from it because like the part of campus it's at. The Student Health Center is right in front of it. That's kind of my College 10 and 9 review. Next, we have Kresge and Porter, their sister colleges. There they have the Kresge Co-op, which I ended up missing my second year when I didn't live in Kresge anymore. I really missed it because it was just so cute. Porter has Porter Bowls, which is their mac and cheese, be so good, and it's cheaper than the one in McHenry, so that's my tip there. And the Porter Dining Hall, I did not like personally. It's like barely ever open and their food is kind of scary, but RCC is not too far of a walking distance. Porter also has the Porter Squiggles and the Porter Meadows. Very pretty, very fun, very cute. Also, Porter in general also feels like how college campus is supposed to look like in the movies. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like you're in a coming of age teen movie when you're walking around. Then is RCC and Oaks. Oaks is kind of offside where it's a really far walk from everything, but the college itself is really beautiful. Honestly, I used to go there for MSI and I'd be like, why does no one talk about Oaks? It's so pretty, but it is kind of far from a lot of things, and like buses can be a little hard at times because you do technically, you can walk from like Cowell to Oaks. I just have never done it and would prefer it to stay that way and not do that walk. RCC was one of my favorites. I love their dining hall. It was so cute. In general, I thought the college was really cute. It's like kind of like, looks like a little retirement home. That sounds bad, but to me, it always looked really cute. RCC also, I'm pretty sure has, yeah, they have the College 8 Cafe. I think they changed the name, but that's what I remember it being called. And Oaks has, I forget what it's called, but I know their quesadillas are super duper good. So that's my little breakdown of the colleges for you. I recommend researching them. Honestly, Reddit threads that tell you the stereotypes of each college can be quite helpful because even though they're stereotypes, gauge what the community is like because each college truly does have a different community. Dorms. And so I'm gonna break it down real quick. I actually did not live in the dorms my freshman year of college. I lived in Kresge College, and Kresge's the one college where freshmen are not required to live in the dorms, and instead they can live in apartment style living. And every time I mention that to someone, they're always like, that's where I want to live. I want to live in there. And I don't know if I'd say that. Like, I had a good time living there, but also the place I lived in was an actual trash hole. You have to mop, you have to vacuum, you have to do the dishes, a lot of times you're cooking because they don't require you to have a meal plan, and then that means you're eating crackers for dinner a lot of time. I did not get a freshman 15, I will tell you that. I got a freshman negative 15, and then I got a dining hall plan, and I got the freshman 30. So it's a lot more quiet of a living situation, and it's a little harder to go out of your way to meet people who aren't in your apartment because the way it's structured is like there's apartments and like they're next to each other, but you have to like go down the stairs to the next stairs, so you're not just gonna like go up the stairs of a random person's apartment to meet them. Versus in the dorms, I know for a lot of fall quarter, people literally just keep their door open, or they keep a sign on their door that's like, oh, like knock and we're in here, you know, and like it's pretty chill to get to know people, and like you're living near a lot more people in a lot smaller of a space. And so depending on your concerns, if you prefer something more quiet, then Kresge's nice, but if you want more of a traditional college experience, I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. I don't regret anything. I loved living in Kresge. I did live in the dorms over the summer. In the summer, I did summer session at Porter College. It was not a good time. No offense, but that whole summer situation, the whole summer dorming situation was a mess. Porter, I do know people who lived in Porter and loved it. Maybe just that summer session where I lived, my personal taste just did not love it that much. The standard dorm is a triple. I would recommend, if you're down to something I wish I did, is go for a large triple instead of a normal triple. It's not that much extra per month if I'm not wrong, and the room size is significantly bigger. Like, I don't know how, but the large triples are always so nice compared to the normal triples. The normal triples are basically doubles that they turn into triples because housing crisis life. And so that's one suggestion I would have. Besides that, doubles are pretty nice. I lived in a small double second year and it was literally so small, but luckily me and my roommates were friends at that point, so like it was okay for us to be that close with each other. But I feel like my first year living in that, I would have been like, I have my apartment tour up on my channel as well as my moving out of my apartment tour that kind of shows you my apartment from second year and first year. Overall though, the dorms are not bad. Like it's honestly an experience that you go through and then you look back on, you're like, how did I do that? But that was really fun. Like something about the dorms and being that close to so many people is just so fun. You make all these memories that you wouldn't make otherwise. So I tend to get questions about the nightlife, and that's always something that's like kind of situational. Like it really depends person to person, especially at a school like UCSC. For those of you who don't know, we don't have a really big frat and sorority life. There are frats, there are sororities, there's off-campus frats and sororities, and then there's also approved frats and sororities. I don't know a lot about fraternity or Greek life. I literally didn't even know what it was called, like, because personally it's not something that interested me when coming to Santa Cruz. I knew that Greek life was small when I chose to come here, and so automatically I didn't really consider it much. I did almost rush once. Me and my housemate last year almost rushed, and then we were like, not for us, and we ended up giving up on it. Because of that, I feel like our party scene is not as crazy. Like I've seen like UCSB party pictures sometimes and I'm like, that looks crazy. Like we don't have any of that. Cal Day, we don't have that. We do have 420, but like obviously that's like a whole different scene altogether. I think the big thing with party culture at Santa Cruz is if you want to party, you could probably find one. If you don't want to party, it's fine. It's not really engraved in the culture to like everyone be going out all the time. I think it's a lot more of a kickback, low-key type school. Exploring, going to the beach, and like kickbacks are a lot bigger than like huge parties and like ragers. There definitely is them. Like I said, if you're looking for that, you'll definitely find some. But if you're not, it's cool. Like a lot of people also ask about weed on campus. I think it's a very big stereotype for Santa Cruz students to be stoners, hippies, all that. And I definitely think there is a good amount of students, a good amount of people at the school who are similar to that stereotype. But it's not like a pressure. Like I don't think people are gonna come up to you and be like, you better smoke this right now. Personally, never happened to me. If you hold your morals and say, I don't want to do that, they'll respect that and they'll understand that. And in general, hopefully around any group of people, that's something that you expect to see. So that's what I say about that. We do have intramural sports and a couple sports teams and a dance team and like also like cultural dance teams as well. A bunch of organizations. There's a bunch of pre-professional organizations, pre-professional frats. In general, if you're looking to get involved in an org, I recommend going to Cornucopia. It's like welcome week, I'm pretty sure, like one of the first weeks back. And literally any organization that's SOAR approved, any organization that is on campus will be there, and it's your chance where I recommend just signing up for anything that interests you. And then once you start getting the emails being like, maybe this one, maybe not this one, and then just like kind of deciding what really interests you and go to a couple of meetings. So yeah, I've been filming for like 50 minutes now, which means this is gonna take me a hefty second to edit, but I hope that I covered everything in this video. If I didn't, you can always leave me questions down below or on my Instagram or Twitter or Spotify. Can you message? You can't message people on Spotify. That was dumb. You could make like a playlist. Use song names to spell out the words of your question. That'd be so funny. Congrats on getting into UCSC if you have chosen to come here next year. And honestly, no matter where you're going, congrats. You guys are doing great. I know Corona sucks. Videos had like 7 different lighting situations. So before we make it 8, I'm gonna end this video. Bye guys.